Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. A very warm welcome from London in the UK. Here is today's news about electric cars and the future of transport. I go through every EV article online, so you don't have to. My name is Martin Lee, and this is your EV News Daily for Saturday, the 14th of April, 2018. Well, CBS cameras got to see what we've always wanted to see behind the scenes of the Model 3 production line. Now, CBS began by saying that the pioneering electric car company Tesla has suffered a series of very public challenges since the beginning of this year. Its high-profile CEO, Elon Musk, called this a period of production hell. Most of the troubles revolve around the company's Model 3 sedan, its first mid-priced, mass-produced electric car, say CBS. Now, this is what I'll do. The audio is, they released quite a few different little bits of video cut up into lots of different bits. There wasn't one long thing. So I've taken them all, put them together for you, and I will put that out as a special, separate podcast straight after this one. That way, if you're not so bothered by Tesla, and I know that whilst it has its fans, some people don't want to know every minor detail like I do, you don't have to download the whole thing. So this will be your news episode, and then straight after I will just put a podcast out with purely the Elon Musk CBS This Morning interview audio. Well, on to the news then, and the Audi e-tron VisionGT. That's the car which started life as a Gran Turismo computer game car until Audi only went and made one for real. Well, it hit the track yesterday in Rome. It's at the Formula E event there. The first time Formula E has been on the streets of Rome. Audi Sport tweeted this: our first passenger in Rome, FIA Formula E's Alejandro Agag. And a picture of the man behind the series with his helmets and his race suit on, and the first passenger with him being taken out into this gorgeous four-wheel drive Audi Quattro full electric car that started life as a computer game designer's imagination for Gran Turismo that they let their engineers have a go at making. Well, moving on to GM, and Ken Kelzer, GM's vice president, one of their VPs at least, has pointed to GM launching 2 new electric cars based off the Bolt technology, even though the Bolt itself won't be updated for quite a while. He also made it clear that their ICE plans are not dead yet, even though they're still pushing forward with EVs. He said this, and I quote, "It's not like we're leaving internal combustion engines behind. We're working on both, depending on what's going to happen with the government regulation and consumer acceptance. That's when we're going to find out. Everyone in the industry is working hard to make internal combustion engines more efficient." End quote. And staying with GM, as electrification of the transportation sector expands, automakers are trying to attract customers by guaranteeing them a place to charge. Now, EVgo's new announcement shows that the strategy can extend into the car-sharing market. So says Utility Dive. Well, Maven makes car sharing for the gig economy easier, is the quote from Julia Steen. She's the VP of Maven and Urban Mobility at GM. The agreement, the article continues, will make charging seamless, she said. EVgo will construct an electric vehicle fast charging network for General Motors' car sharing brand, available to the Maven Gig Chevy Bolt drivers. EVgo operates the largest network of public fast charging stations in North America, and the agreement builds on work the two companies are already doing, actually, in more than half a dozen major cities. The move is a sign that more auto brands are associating themselves with specific charging networks. For instance, BMW's Charge Now program will give you 2 years of free charging at participating EVgo stations. But what about if it's not an official charging station, but you're just plugging into someone's house? Well, EV charging points here in the UK could be 100,000 locations if only everyone shared their own connection. That's according to the low-carbon vehicle infrastructure firm Book My Charge, says Energy Live News. Well, the article continues. It expects the figure to soar following an almost 15% rise in the sale of EVs between January and March compared to the same period last year here in the UK. It says there are now more than 85,000 charge points operating at homes and businesses all around the UK, compared with 6,000 public charging locations. Now, Jan Stannard is the co-founder of Book My Charge and said, "We want to encourage a sharing economy approach so that the EV community has guaranteed access to the wealth of home charging locations across the country." End quote. Well, praise be to BMW, who are sharing more sales data than many other car companies, to be honest with you, particularly with electric cars. Electric Cars report points out that the BMW Group is targeting sales of at least 140,000 electrified models in 2018, not pure BEVs, and is well on track to achieving that, with global sales of these models totalling almost 27,000. In Q1, first quarter sales of BMW i Performance and Mini electric vehicles leapt 78% in the USA alone. It's the company's largest single market for electrified vehicles. Now, with a total of 5,743 vehicles delivered in Q1, that's 7% of BMW Group sales in the USA were electrified models. Well, moving on, an auto publisher, Drive Tribe, has brought aboard one of the world's biggest car manufacturers as its first major partner, according to the Drum website. Audi will use Drive Tribe as a hub and lean on its editorial team to tell unique stories, they say, around Audi's electric vehicle plans and products. Additionally, they'll promote Audi's EV push to an audience of engaged car enthusiasts. And finally, electricity distribution networks here in Europe run well below their full potential, finds a new study from the RAP, that's the Regulatory Assistance Project. Now, the findings show that the unused network capacity could be utilised for charging electric cars with little or even no need for additional capacity. Smart pricing and smart grid technologies will be the key, says the Energy Collective. And the article continues, and I quote, "Shifting EV charging to periods when existing resources are readily available would keep incremental investment in infrastructure to a minimum. All consumers, not just those with EVs, would benefit from spreading the costs of the existing infrastructure over more load and minimising any new investment." Well, a reminder, if you'd like to hear that full Elon Musk interview with CBS this morning, I've taken all the YouTube videos. They were quite sort of disparate subjects, and I've tried to make sense of them in just one long edit and taken out a lot of the commentary that kind of TV has to do, if you like. So we just get nearly all Elon and a few questions that put in context what he was saying. It's about 9 minutes long, and I'm going to release it as a separate podcast straight after this one. So Tesla fans, like myself, can enjoy a bit of unfettered access to Elon and the Model 3 production line. And if you're not so bothered, you don't have to download it. Well, I would love to spread the word about electric cars. If you can, share this with somebody who might be interested. Every previous episode of the podcast, as you may know, is online. I don't take them off. The whole archive is there online for free on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, the blog, which is evnewsdaily.com. And if you want to, on any of those platforms, you can subscribe. And that means you get it first and free and automatically. If you want to take 2 minutes to rate and review or leave a comment, that would be fantastic to hear from you. And if you want to come and say hi on socials, on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, just search EV News Daily. And if you want to email, you can hello@evnewsdaily.com. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you tomorrow.